morning, everyone. I'm probably not going to get this posted before 11 a.m. Eastern time today. And that's because, well, quite frankly, I decided to sleep in. It was a decision I made kind of last minute. Got home yesterday after 6 day stretch. Felt pretty run down, pretty tired. Hung out online for a little while, but found I couldn't hold a conversation without nodding off at the computer, so decided for good or ill to just turn in. And that's exactly what I did. But I did promise you a reading for today to make up for the missing reading Monday, and that is exactly what I'm going to give to you. So today is our weekend reading, and I am glad that you are here today. Happy to have you join me and my little partner here, who has decided to tear up everything in the wee hours of the morning to wake me for some reason. I don't know if it's he wants to play or he wants to be fed early, but he's definitely not getting fed early. And there he goes again. Well, you're not getting fed early. That's not happening. You can play with that box all you like. And as far as I'm concerned, the box is yours, so go ahead and get in, bud. It's all yours. Anyway, let's get down to it, right? We have our guide for this weekend, and that is Fenrir. Well, let's see if any good can come from such a creature. I think he's popped up once before. We may have to look out for ourselves this weekend. So, you know what? Fenrir is the reason I'm kind of shying away from social media a little more and more. It's also the reason I set up my own Telegram chat. I'm thinking of a Discord chat. Whatever you think about that, just drop it in the comments down below. Now, the thing about wolves that I like to point out to people is that they're greatly feared and admired. When they're bearing those fangs, they can be very fearsome. When they're walking around or, howling at the moon, and there are photos of these things occurring, they can be very majestic. Here's the thing. I want to draw attention to something from Norse lore that I think is important in this. Everyone here knows, or if you don't, that's why I'm bringing it up. Those who know Norse lore know that everyone knows that Fenrir destroys or begins to bring about Ragnarok. In fact, it is 3 of Loki's children that do it. It's Jormungand, the serpent, Hel, the goddess of the realm with the same name, and Fenrir. Fenrir was actually betrayed. He was challenged to multiple contests they would chain him up and challenge him to break it every time he would. Odin then talked to a dwarf who said he could build an unbreakable bond, but it would need 3 things. Now, I don't remember exactly what those 3 things were. However, I know that Odin did get them all, and thus the little thin ribbon was given to Odin. Now, Odin took that, and he challenged Fenrir to break it. Now, Fenrir sensed something was up, and said he required at least one of them put their hand in his mouth, and no one would except Tyr. Tyr stuck his entire hand into the mouth of the wolf, and when the wolf had found he had been betrayed and he could not break it, he snapped Tyr's hand completely off and ate it. Eventually he will break it, and eventually he will come to also do the same with other than himself. The reason I'm kind of lingering on this card for a moment is because you have to remember something. When you put someone in an untenable position, that is a wound that almost certainly never heals. When you inflict that kind of pain on someone and continue to do it, it does foster bitterness. It fosters a desire for revenge. It fosters all kinds of negativity. So, the reason I tell you all this is because what I'm getting from this card is that it is definitely time for us to stop belittling others to make ourselves feel superior. Sometimes those first impressions are not always correct. Sometimes it's time to stop fearing people if you don't truly understand them. And I kind of doubt 5 minutes is enough. Get what I'm saying? Responding it isn't how someone responds to that level of fear. But you know what? Let's look at the spirit animal, see what else comes of it. Here we go. This is one we haven't ever gotten before, the otter. You are never alone. Another story from Norse lore. Loki, at one point, did turn himself into an otter and found that he couldn't change back. He spent time with a family of otters and nearly lost himself in being an otter. I suspect that there was a time Loki did not want to come back because he did feel that family with the otters. He didn't feel so alone. He didn't feel like the villain anymore. He felt wanted and loved. Just like you. Whether you believe it or not, at least here you're loved. I usually tell people, you are always going to be the villain in someone else's story. Embrace it, embody it. There's nothing you can do to change their mind. But it is important to know that while you're busy being that villain in someone else's story, don't get too lost in it. Always remember, someone out there loves and cares for you. Always remember, you are never truly alone. So this weekend, that is kind of the tone for this reading. Quite frankly, it has been a week of just some very, very weird ones, hasn't it? And like I said, the reason I don't put you in context of these colossal world events is because they always make you feel like, well, I'm just me, what can I do? Well, that's why I tell you, you are an incredibly powerful person. You are an incredibly powerful being. All you need to do is work on what you can solve. And don't worry about the rest. Don't worry about anyone else. Let everyone else do their thing. You're not going to change their mind. But where you see truly destructive and evil things happening, do your best to shield yourselves and your family, because they're the ones who loves you. Those coming after you, they do not matter, right? Okay, now let's get into the Raven's Prophecy Tarot. I know you're a little jarred by that. I know some of you are probably surprised by the gray box rather than that colossal box that these cards came in. However, I'm trying to conserve as much space as I possibly can. My altar is also my bookshelf, my tarot deck shelf, and it has very little space. Once I max it out, that's it. That's all I can put there. So, trying to save as much space as I can. Now, let's see what we have in terms of the tarot. So, we have, in our past, we have that Four of Coins again. We got Judgment. And we have that Six of Coins. So, kind of looking at that, what I'm getting from this is someone is looking at us and saying, "Hey, you're being a little selfish." I mean, someone is actually calling you out on your selfishness. However, or maybe don't hold back so much. That could also be a thing. But I'm seeing someone out there is telling you, or someone out there has told you you're selfish. However, when it comes to the end result, you have responded. You've responded this way by being generous. And the thing is, with this being in your past position here, this isn't really who you are. See this? It's already starting. Someone out there is like supremely judging you, despite your true character showing. Again, I'll bet the present is going to pull up something a lot different. So we have a Nine of Coins. That's a nice return on your. That's a nice return on the sort of investment, the past investment you made. Do you feel like? And this is what I'm going to get at here. Before I lay down this last card for the present, actually, no, I'm going to go ahead and lay it down because here we go. Now this picture's starting to come in a little clearer for me. Because when it comes to what you've done, when you've invested, and I'm seeing this really. I'm seeing a lot of your investments right now are being called selfish. You're not following someone else's financial path. You're not buying into their their sort of thinking of what you should be doing. Well, forget them. Okay? They don't matter here. Here's what I'm going to show you. With that Nine of Coins, you are definitely getting some. You're definitely getting the happiness. You're happy that you're doing this because you know where it's going. Also, that Seven of Wands, you are definitely protecting what matters now and what will matter in the future. But it's that Hierophant card because this is where you're expected to conform. However, you're turning it into something else. You're teaching others. And while teaching others, that may be very, very little and far between. Remember when I said yesterday, in yesterday's reading, don't check out. And don't hoard the knowledge. Teach what you can. Because this is how we do it. Remember, and here's where the picture starts, like I said, when I said it started to come in a little more clearly, it's like one of those JPEGs back in the day on dial-up. Boom, 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 boom. That's what I'm getting here. Fenrir. We do not raise ourselves up by tearing others down. We all rise by lifting each other up. So the Hierophant in this case, in your present, is not about tearing someone else down. It's about lifting others up. It's about taking the few that you have here, protecting them and what matters. They are becoming like your otter spirit here. Those few will be thanking you for their success later because you lifted them up. You took your strength and you made them strong as well, that is something to be admired and to be respected. You're definitely bossing up, taking that leadership role this weekend. So what happens with the spiritual here is you have justice. There we go. You have a Page of Swords. And you have a Two of Wands. A lot of earth. Very little air. No water. No real emotion to this. At least not today. Definitely approaching with some logic. But that Justice card speaks pretty much for itself. You can see where what you're doing is affecting others. Or affecting others. Sorry, not effecting. You know, it's interesting because that Page of Swords, that Page of Swords is very clear. It's clear thinking, but it's also a little beginner, a little bit of a beginner mindset here. You got that Two of Wands, and you can definitely see a raven snatching a couple of wands out of that raging inferno. Let me tell you something. When you see it, you can see the protection of what matters, and it's not really you protecting others, it's you're empowering others to protect themselves. For example, I can effectively defend 5 people from a vicious attack, or I can give those people the skills and tools needed to protect themselves from the same vicious attack. Now, let me ask you this. If you have 2 muggers, 2 armed muggers coming upon 5 people, and only one of them has any kind of defensive capability, who do you think actually stands to benefit in this situation? It's obviously going to be the mugger. It's obviously going to be the swindler. The guy that calls out, "Hey, Rube," at the carnival. It's going to be that guy. It's going to be those 2 guys running the con, viciously attacking. But if that one person out of the 5 says, "Hey, here's what to look out for. Here's how to respond. Here's some body armor. Here's a defensive tool. Here's how to use all of that," and all the other 4 can put it all together, then when these 2 vicious animal type people, because that's what they are, they're responding on base instinct, they come in for the attack. Now they got to deal with 5 people. They're running. That's what this is all about. You are using what you know and teaching it to these people right here who've always been, "Oh, I'm just little old me, what can I do?" Well, you can actually do a lot. That's where the true justice is in this world. This is not about the legal system. This is not about anything like that. That is where the justice is. You're strong. It's time to help make others strong as well. You need to be armed with the facts on this. Everyone has to start somewhere. This is where you start. But even if the entire thing burns around you, you and those who've listened to you will benefit greatly. Starting to understand now? Let's go to the White Light Oracle, because obviously that's exactly what you're doing. You're working, this is light work right here, and you're doing it. We're defying that destructive wolf, right? So, we have an Oracle of Chaldea. I think we've seen her before. I so rarely work with this deck, and I should probably do it a lot more. We have Obodier. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. Comment in the description below if I'm not. feel free. Or just comment in the comment section, rather, not in my description. What is wrong with me today? And we have Beatitude of Sacred Rapture. Okay, now, we can kind of see something here. Starting out, we do have someone looking up. We have someone looking up with their light shining. We have someone looking down, like, sort of like, oh, it's you. Yeah, it's me. And then we have two people getting together. And they really look like they're quite into each other. Like they are really, really having this wonderful time. So I'm going to look at it like this. Right now, this is definitely you. From your past, you've looked outward. I'm seeing it a little differently now. You've looked outward before. Now you need to look inward. And this pairing here means that someone will be doing this with you. They will be looking outward toward you. You will be looking at them. Soon they'll be able to take it to someone else as well. Okay, but let's see. Let's see if the book confirms all this, right? So we're going to start with number 37 here. Number 37, the Oracle of Chaldea. We're not very far from, there it is. Okay, so, are you ready for this one? There are times when being present in the body and feeling our truth is challenging. We may be unsure how to hold space for our own emotional and psychological states. Humans are complex creatures, and the authentic healing journey requires us to have patience with ourselves. We need to know when it's safe to delve into a matter with the full faith that even if things feel out of control, we are connected to a powerful and supportive spiritual network and our own wisdom. And that's enough to handle whatever arises, even if we tremble somewhat during the process. Oh, hell no. I cannot believe that just happened in the middle of my video. Thanks, dude. I just lost my place. Okay, let me give you the summary on this one. Continue on your healing journey with enthusiasm, but without forcing things to happen more quickly than feels natural. Sometimes the body will be ready to let go while the mind is still holding on. Other times the mind may need to be patient as the body processes an experience. Trust in your own timing and rhythm. There's no need to be impatient or judge yourself. Right? Judgment again. Are you judging yourself a little too harshly? And are you overcompensating? You've invested and invested and invested, and now you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta do this, I gotta do more of this, I gotta do more of that. No, whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down. You're gonna be okay. Okay? You're summoning the spiritual fortitude to tackle an issue which has previously held you back. When the time is right, the healing shall happen more easily than if you tried to push forward prematurely. Things are going to work out, just be positive. Okay? Now, with that card below it, I want to see if they actually have a pronunciation guide to that one. And wouldn't you know it, looks like I'll probably mark that page. There we go. So do not turn away from your path, nor from what you know in your heart to be true. No matter what appears to be, nor what logic may dictate, trust in what your heart is telling you. You are safe and you're protected by spirit. You are spiritually empowered with all that you need to manifest your authentic soul path. You have what it takes to connect with the light and live that connection in practical ways which contribute positive energy to the human collective. You can't have a collective without individuals, ladies and gentlemen. That means you need to do what you're doing right now. Your path is correct. Okay? Keep protecting that which matters. Because at the end of the day, you have to live with you. That's why I say, you are an incredibly powerful human being. If not, why do so many people, why do the extremes want you so badly? And I can answer the question, it is because they are miserable and they wish to control you and make you as miserable as they are. Plain and simple. Do not allow it to happen. No matter what, stand your ground. You tell them under no uncertain terms, I have made this decision. My decision will absolutely stand, and you're either in or you're in the way. Don't get in my way. Be very firm, because what comes next is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Okay, so moving on to this final card, we're kind of getting a little bit of a look into the future here. Just a little bit of possible future at that. Let your true self be seen. Search for the deeper spiritual purpose and opportunity for healing beneath conflict and suffering. If you have been in pain, this oracle brings a message of joyful breakthrough. Your soul is growing stronger, more able to have faith and wisdom than in judgment or doubt. Commit to the spiritual path and know that you are making progress, even if things seem more difficult for a time. 1 second, please. He is seriously becoming incorrigible. I had to cut that part out, I'm sorry. My apologies. I will continue. Okay, so your soul is growing stronger, more able to have faith in wisdom than in judgment or doubt. Commit to your spiritual path and know you are making progress, even if things seem more difficult for a time. Know that any such difficulty is part of your spiritual healing, and that you will successfully move through it. Trust yourself. Is someone else telling you you're selfish, or are you telling yourself that? I can see a little bit of both, actually. I really can. Especially if you're coming from a place where you're doing something to prepare yourself or your family for a possible future, and someone says, oh, that's just selfish. Why would you do something like that? Because it's none of your goddamn business. That's why. Now back off. Let me give you an example. My crypto people, hit the like button. Hit the like button, especially if you've been told when making your investments, when laying your bets down on a certain crypto, and you're doing it to secure a future for you, your family, to retire early, to never have to do another 9 to 5 or another 12-hour, 7-day long week, to ever have to keep from constantly busting your hump, only to have it end with nagging physical injuries, only to have nagging physical injuries, the inability to move, a lower quality of life, and all the money in the world to try to make yourself more comfortable in that state. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what the employee route is. That is the employee path. That is what it has always been. Oh my God. Always something. Anyway. I apologize. This is how he gets around 10 a.m. in the morning, and he will absolutely not stop until it's time to feed him at 11 a.m. I'm serious. He will knock things over, he will tear things up, he will go absolutely insane. And for some reason, he started this morning at 6 a.m. on my day off. Lovely. Anyway, the employee path has always been that way. Always. It has always only ever been about you working and working and working. The fewer raises you get, the more time you're losing. Ladies and gentlemen, you get 24 hours a day. I get 24 hours a day. If we're working 8-hour shifts at a job 5 days a week, every time you're denied a raise, you're being told your time is not worth that much. Isn't it about time you said that that's no longer acceptable? Time is one resource. Money you can always get back. Money you can always get back. You lose some, you get some back. It happens. You pay a bill, you lose some. You get paid, you get some back. Time does not work that way. Alright? So, if you're investing toward a time where you can enjoy however many years you have left. Who knows how many years you have left with your family while you're able-bodied. That is not selfish. That is practical. That is natural. And the minute someone says no one should be that rich, trying to shame you, you simply, gently remind them, I am not asking your permission. No, I'm not asking for your consent. I am not asking for your approval. But this is what it is, and shall always remain that way. Thank you very much. Walk away. It's very simple, people. Let's get into the runes. I got overexcited there. Money is energy, ladies and gentlemen, and the more of it you have, the more you can do with it. It is that simple. But time is a precious commodity you can never get back. Ever. Doubt me? Go talk to Damien Eccles. Ask him. Alright? So finally, we're getting down to it. We got Fehu. There's that the wealth is coming up again. Oh, you're being stingy. Well, you're investing. That's going to pay off eventually. Here we go. For the present, Yera. And for the future, Gabo. Your wealth, your rewards, and the gifts that you are inspired to give later. This is where it all leads, ladies and gentlemen. Finally some good news this weekend. Finally some good news. The good news is that whatever you're investing in, and I am not a financial advisor, please do not buy anything. I don't buy or sell anything based on what a guy reading cards is telling you here. But, and that's a but, and this is for entertainment purposes only, When it comes to crypto, I know we're in kind of a downtrend at the moment. We're kind of sitting in that pullback, which Friday did not make any sense to me. Of course, I really haven't been paying attention to any crypto news lately, but anyway, the point of the matter is, we're on the right path. Not everything is as it appears to be. And remember, don't spend this weekend trying to tear each other down. Oh, have fun staying poor. Sound familiar? No, don't do that. Okay? So let's sum up here. I'm just going to sum up very, very quickly. So, like I was saying before, don't be trying to build yourself up by tearing others down. Understand that no matter how alone you feel, no matter how many times your friends try to tear you down, you're really never alone. They can call you selfish, they can make you feel selfish. But you have it in you to build yourself and teach others to do the same by showing how you did it. To build yourself and those that you're trying to teach, they'll come away from it pretty well too. But you got to make them understand that every decision they make, all you show them was how you did it. They make their own decisions. They have to do their own research, right? And that's important. Do your own research. Because at the end, there you go. Whatever you're doing to strengthen others, that's the right path. I don't care if it's crypto. Don't care if it's weights. Don't care if it's dieting. Don't care if it's teaching others something that they just didn't know before. There's a way to do it. Do it well. And guess what? That is the ultimate way to protect and defend others. Self-defense, martial arts, so on and so forth. You will be reaping great reward out of it. You were given these gifts for a reason. They were not meant for you to never let them see the light of day. Using your gifts to help others is what lights you up. It is that simple. A very big and complex reading just to tell you a simple thing. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for putting up with my ranting and raving and carrying on. Thank you for putting up with Bub here. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing in the pipe. I love you all. I really, really love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your morning with me. Always remember, those things for which you're gifted are your heart and soul. Do them, perform them. And try to ignore that. I may just do this uncut. I don't know. But as always, I love you and thank you so much for being here. Shine on.